All right, folks, check this out. We have some stunning breaking news that dropped late last night while everyone was asleep. Donald Trump has now ordered his army chiefs to draw up a plan to invade Greenland. Yes, you heard that right. That is actively being worked on now. And Donald Trump has gone from flirting with the idea, kind of talking about it and saying, we want to buy Greenland and threatening Europe kind of vaguely, but also more explicitly, to now just drawing up a plan, ordering his military to do so. Now, he is getting pushback from some members of the military because it's an illegal order. It would be against the law. But nonetheless, this is what Donald Trump is trying to do right now. And I will say the details are even worse than the headline. So we're going to get into the story. I'm going to give you the specifics. Before I do any of that, make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about the story. And I do want to point out, I want to start here, because as you've probably been tracking, there's been an ongoing controversy. Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump, and whatnot, they criticized elected Democrats who came out and said, hey, if you are in the military, you have an obligation to not follow illegal orders. They put out this video. It was members of Congress who have served in the military or served in some intelligence capacity. They said you have an obligation to not follow the illegal orders. And Donald Trump said that they were traitors, suggested that they deserve to be put to death. Pete Hegseth has targeted Mark Kelly, trying to derank him and take away his pension and court-martial him for this video. And now they were vindicated because Donald Trump is trying to draft up an illegal order. Watch the video.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
And who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Yeah, I mean, all they're saying is don't follow illegal orders. Donald Trump came after them, threatened them, said they've committed treason, and now, of course, they've been vindicated. We always knew that they were right, that Donald Trump would attempt one day, if he hasn't already, we just don't know about it, would attempt an illegal order. And that's exactly what happened with this. It's exactly what's happening right now. And this is what Donald Trump said about Greenland the other day when he was meeting with oil executives at the White House.
I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way. And by the way, I'm a fan of Denmark too, I have to tell you,
Oh, he's a fan of Denmark. He's just threatening to invade them. Interesting. But you hear him there. He's saying, we'll either do it the easy way or the hard way. The hard way obviously means militarily. And now we know that this plan is actually being drafted for him to do just that. And it's not just Donald Trump in the administration saying that they want to do this. It's members of his team as well, people on the outside. Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's wife, posted this the other day. You've probably seen it by now, a map of Greenland with the American flag all over it saying soon. Natasha Bertrand from CNN reported that Stephen Miller told Jake Tapper, quote, "No one is going to fight the U.S. militarily over the future of Greenland," indicating there wouldn't need to be a U.S. military operation for the U.S. to take over the island, which he reiterates should belong to the United States. And what that means is Stephen Miller is saying nobody would even dare step in our way, because if they do, they won't want to fight us, essentially, is what he's saying, which is completely contradictory. What we heard from Trump and now this new report is completely contradictory to what's being told to lawmakers. Marco Rubio, according to the Wall Street Journal, has been telling lawmakers that Trump wants to buy Greenland and he's not looking to invade it, that an invasion is not imminent. But now we have this report that this plan is being drawn up for Donald Trump to do just that. So let's get into the specifics here. Donald Trump has ordered his special forces commanders to draw up a plan for the invasion of Greenland, but is being resisted by senior military figures. Sources say that the policy hawks around him, led by Stephen Miller, none other, has been so emboldened by the success of the operation to capture Maduro that they want to move quickly to seize the island before Russia or China make a move. Now, I find it hard to believe that Russia or China are looking to make an imminent move against Greenland. Because if they do, Greenland is part of NATO by way of Denmark. So is Donald Trump trying to say that Russia and China is going to start essentially World War III over Greenland? Is that what they're saying? Do they have intelligence that they plan to do that? That might be good for the American people to know, but they're just running with this excuse that Russia and China are right now trying to invade it or take it over for themselves. British diplomats also believe that Trump is motivated by a desire to distract American voters from the performance of the U.S. economy before the midterm elections later this year. He's doing, yeah, I would agree with that. I also think he's trying to distract the American people from a lot of things. One of them being, his best buddy Epstein. But such a dramatic move would put him at odds with Keir Starmer, of course, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and would effectively lead to the collapse of NATO. But according to these sources, according to the Daily Mail, the president has asked the Joint Special Operations Command to prepare the invasion plan, but it is being resisted by the Joint Chiefs of Staff on the grounds that it would be illegal and not be supported by Congress. So at least there's some pushback happening internally. And again, I have to emphasize, those Democrats have been vindicated. One source said, quote, they've tried to distract Trump by talking about less controversial measures, such as intercepting Russian ghost ships, which is a network of hundreds of vessels operated by Moscow to evade Western sanctions, or launching a strike on Iran. Think about that for a second. The president of the United States needs to be distracted to not do something disastrous for not only us, but the entire world. He needs to be distracted. All of the warnings from the military officials in Donald Trump's first term were not only true then, they're true now. Donald Trump has no idea what he's doing. He thinks he knows more than everybody in the room, and he doesn't. He has to be distracted with other little possible missions that would also put the United States in harm's way, just so he doesn't blow up the world. That is a scary ass thought. My God, one diplomatic cable describes the worst case scenario as leading to the destruction of NATO from the inside. It adds that some European officials suspect this is the real aim of the hardline MAGA faction around Trump. Since Congress would not allow Trump to exit NATO, occupying Greenland could force the Europeans to abandon NATO. If Trump wants to end it, this might be the most convenient way to do it. And that's another thing. I mean, not only would Donald Trump invading Greenland put us at odds with Europe, one of America's strongest and longest allies, but it would effectively end NATO. Because either the European countries would fight back against the United States, which would be even worse, or they just say, yeah, we're not going to work with these freaks anymore. We're not doing this, which would be a gift to Russia and China, who are certainly watching this all take place. The cable says for domestic political reasons, Trump can start with an escalatory scenario, which shifts to a compromise scenario. European officials fear that for Trump, the window of opportunity before the midterms is closing in the summer. Therefore, action is expected sooner rather than later. The NATO summit on July 7th seems like the natural timing for a compromise deal. It also concludes the current concerns about an invasion are driven by the most extreme views coming from Stephen Miller. The UK's positioning will be key, whether it sticks closely with European allies or breaks ranks to sanction Trump's approach. A diplomatic source said the generals think Trump's Greenland plan is crazy and illegal, so they are trying to deflect him with other major military operations. They say it's like dealing with a 5-year-old, which we've heard time and time again about Donald Trump, might I add. Military officials saying he is essentially a 5-year-old. He has no idea what he's doing, and it's coming true now. It's coming true again. It is insane that we are in this position. It is insane that Donald Trump is drafting up an illegal order. And again, to the military, you don't have to follow illegal orders. You have an obligation to not follow illegal orders. So we'll see what happens here, but Donald Trump's looking to invade. He wants to get in. He wants to. It's crazy.